Another up and coming artist, that everybody knows about is Trombone Shorty. He's completely yeah, he's completely blown, literally blown, New Orleans into a new level of stuff because
in the Southeast, we're kind of forgetting Coyotes, Givers, a lot of these bands from Louisiana.
You just touched on Givers. I saw Givers for the first time at DeLuna Fest in Pensacola, and the show was out of this world. That girl in the percussion was just amazing. She was so commanding.
The funny thing about Givers, too, is when we were interviewing bands at DeLuna, and I was asking them who they were looking forward to, probably half of them were like Givers.
Really?
Yeah, which is, kind of, they were like, yeah, like bands from New York, bands from all around were like, I can't wait to see Givers.
Which is,
the show blew me away.
They're absolutely fantastic, and what I love now is, like, in the past week, they've been added to 92 New, so now more people are going to get to hear about them as well. Really like my show.
Swamp Band. I mean, that's an old childhood friend of mine. Definitely keep a lookout for them because they got a big future ahead of them. One is the kind of neo-jazz, psycho ragtime thing going down in southern Louisiana. I know the first band that kind of turned me on to it was a duo called Bones that used to play around here quite a bit. And those guys were part of a band called the New Orleans Bingo Show. And other bands in the same vein, Dirty Bourbon River Show, Morning 40 Federation, they have all got this psycho, theatric, ragtime, just crazy thing going on in it, and it's so catchy. Definitely New Orleans Bingo Show. If you're ever in New Orleans and they're playing a show, go see it. It's an experience. I don't suggest hallucinogens or anything like that because it may be too much. And you're talking about Mississippi. One thing I've noticed about Mississippi is their scene's like North Mississippi. Like, it blew my mind last year going to Clarksdale and seeing the amount of college kids and kind of alternative scene kids that were, in these old school juke joints listening to these like 60, 70-year-old black dudes doing their thing, and they got this whole Delta Bohemian thing going on, all the kids from Ole Miss. And I don't know if any of y'all ever been to Clarksdale. Yeah, I mean, it blows your it blows your mind that all these kids from Oxford come down there to experience that scene. Yeah, and it's bands up there like Super Chicken. Oh, Super Chicken's awesome.
My favorite bands through the Southeast right now is North Mississippi All Stars. Their last show at Tipitino's just blew me away.
Color Revolt, dude. Color Revolt. I know The Cradle came out last year, but that record is so strong. It's not come out of my CD player. It is still in slot 1. Love that album. Love that band. Loved it so hard I got it on vinyl. Saw them at Vinyl in Pensacola. From Georgia, I dig the Constellations a lot. Not only are they nice guys, they're absolutely fantastic.
All these cocaine vultures follow footage round the bar with their complicated hairdos, sparkling cigarettes in the dark. Billy huddle in the corner, you see her kiss him now sweet. All the girls they felt the gossip, lick their lips and grind their teeth. Down the street from the Majestic, past the Clamor on the left. The ATM is broke again. I got liquor on my breath. In the parks, the thugs, the scenes, the kids trying to take me for a ride. With a seat off of the angles at the corner of my eye. Let's take a ride.
The Moon, the Mar, the Sun.
Yes, exactly.
Today, The Moon, the Mar, the Sun is one of my favorite bands ever at this point. They're from Atlanta. They do pretty well in Atlanta. They're regarded as one of the best bands there. They have a very metric-esque sound, if anybody's ever heard metric.
They had a show at the Alabama Music Box. Fantastic as well.
And Kevin Devine. We're kind of leaving out bad books. Kevin Devine as well.
Whoa, there's just so much, Skoda. There's so much.
Can you spare your arms or your arrows? The thunder clouds are rising. I think that I should go to the desert back on Chanel Street, 1996. The waiting there to tell me I died.
Oh, we haven't even talked about this. Johnny Apple Eyes from Pensacola.
Yeah, we're kind of
They're on a bit of a hiatus right now, which sucks for me because they have a 3-song EP. It's 12 minutes long. It's really so very good.
Also Paloma.
And Paloma as well. Pioneers, oh pioneers.
There was always a time and place where we drifted off and rounded. We had a moment in time. I'll see you up again. I'll keep you close again.
I've always been a really big fan of music from South Carolina. A lot of Charleston bands I just grew up with, like Jump Little Children, and by listening to them, I got exposed to so much that was happening up there. And it was about 10-ish years ago that I first heard Carrie Ann Hurst, when she was Carrie Ann Hurst and the Gun Street Girls. And they do a lot of stuff. She is married to a fellow who is from Denver, but calls Charleston home now, Michael Trent. And he was with a band called The Films, which is retarded good. But together they tour, and they're Shovels and Rope, and they were just at Callahan's last night. Yeah. Whew, whoa, gotta lay off the whiskey. There's such a broad range of music that is genre-wise that is represented from the Southeast that we're really quite lucky. And I think I'm almost okay with us forgetting some bands, because to me that's like we have so much great stuff. And yeah.
Definitely.
So we're not dipping our toe in the shallow end. We're kind of just throwing y'all in the deep end. I'm okay with that.
Well, people, if you take anything away from any of this, if you decide to take anything away from it, it's that there's so much music in the Southeast, in Alabama and Mobile. There's so many good scenes in Birmingham and Mobile and Atlanta and New Orleans and Florida, and basically I feel like people have kind of forgotten that the Southeast is the Southeast for a reason. That we got music, and like Doc was telling me earlier, like barely any bands made it onto NPR's top albums of the year. Like there were 2 bands I think from the Southeast at all. And it's kind of overlooked in a lot of ways. The South, people are just like, oh, well, they got some football.
We got some great football.
We got some great. Well, we got football in spades.
We got some great
we got
tunes.
some other stuff too.
We got great tunes to go with our great football.
All right. Well, you've been watching the Southeastern Music Roundtable. These are a lot of good dudes and a good chick, and I hope that you actually take the time to look into this music. So everybody, say bye.
Hey, bye.
All right, and that's how we do it.
Roll Tide.